let's talk about Alina Habba. Obviously, this is Trump's lawyer who's representing him in a number of cases, including the E. Jean Carroll case. Didn't really work out for her in that one, did it? But she is throwing down with the big man and apparently has had a long game of getting into Trump's inner circle. And she did that through actually orchestrating another hush money payment to a different Trump, this time a Trump employee. So let's get into the details. This was an exclusive from the Daily Beast, and it's really surprising. And actually, she's on the hook now for her behavior during this entire settlement. Okay, so it surrounds a former employee of Trump's New Jersey golf club who alleged that her boss was sexually harassing her, and then she was tricked into signing an unfair hush money deal. The club paid her $82,500, but the curiously worded contract left Trump's own attorney, Alina Habba, wide open to getting sued herself because Alina had a role in all of this. The waitress's name, the employee's name is Alice Bianco. And here are the details of her settlement. This is a 4-page settlement. Alice Bianco signed on March 4th, and it reads like a total win for the angered ex-employee. She gets to keep the measly $15,000 hush money payment she received in 2021 for keeping quiet about the way her supervisor repeatedly intimidated her and pressured her to sleep with him. Her attorney gets $82,500 for briefly litigating the case, and both sides can rip up the one-sided NDA. And the club doesn't admit it, quote, committed fraud to induce her into a shady deal. Remember, the fraud stuff is what got Trump into trouble with Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen, and that's currently being litigated. But then here is a line in this settlement that is really strange considering Alina Habba's role in all this. The line says, quote, the parties agree that Alina Habba is not party to this release. In other words, Alina Habba could still be on the hook for anything that happened in this whole sordid affair. She's not exempt. And here's what she actually did, according to this former employee, this waitress. Bianco feels that she was betrayed by Habba, who was one of her Bedminster regulars until her lawsuit says Habba posed as a concerned friend giving legal advice about how to address alleged sexual harassment by a supervisor, only to abuse that relationship and fraudulently inducing her to quickly agree to unconscionable and illegal terms. The alleged ploy, rapidly paced over just 2 weeks, gave Habba leverage to arrange a hush money deal that would curry favor with the former president and earn her way into his inner circle. So, long story short story long, Alina Habba was giving advice to Alice Bianco, the former Trump employee, saying, you know what, you should just sign this hush money deal. You should just do that. But after she did, Bianco was like, Alina Habba gets basically promoted in Trump's circle. Now she's his lawyer, and Alice Bianco was like, what the hell did we just do? And now we have a new settlement going on that actually cuts Alina Habba out of this completely. And Bianco is now preparing to sue the club all over again. This time different, this time for sexual harassment, not for actually tricking her to keep her quiet. Now my head is spinning, but I hope people understand that, Sharon, this is Alina Habba's origin story, and actually this new settlement with Alice Bianco cuts her out of any kind of immunity from the ire of this former employee.
Well, good, okay? But that's when are people going to wake up? You said at the beginning of this segment that Alina Habba did very hard to become part of the inner circle here. And yet she's getting the same deal that other people got. Ones who've gone to jail, ones who are bankrupt, ones who can no longer afford hair dye, who were inside a Georgia courtroom and have been given a devastating judgment of their own. Once the mayor of New York, now just wandering around aimlessly, barely a place to sleep, lay his head, okay? Yeah. Talking about how Trump will get him closer to God. It's not true for Rudy, and it certainly isn't gonna be true for her, okay?
Yeah.
Get your money up front. Every Trump lawyer who's worth anything knows that, and expect not to be shielded. Just like those lawyers who filed briefs on him in the Aileen Cannon case, the document case, who said, whoa, not part of this, okay? To protect themselves. Now, I don't know if she is just plain a lawyer, didn't realize that she needed to look after herself, but well, good. Maybe she'll learn.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, it's just so bizarre because she's the one representing him now in these hush money cases against Stormy Daniels, and she herself has been cut out and made vulnerable in this other hush money, settlement that she helped fix. So it's just wild, and the guy has no loyalty. The only thing Alina Habba has is maybe Trump wins in November and she gets to be press secretary, which what is, ask Kayleigh McEnany, like what is that? That's like a ladder to a Fox News job, I guess. And if that, maybe Newsmax. So it's just, what is Alina Habba's game here? When does she also jump ship? And who is the next like fawning rando to step up in her place? But it's just very interesting that like, she's like, oh, I'll help you do the same thing that got you into trouble in the first place. And on top of that, Sharon, and lastly, let's remember this is a woman who is deliberately tanking, cornering, and strong-arming another woman into staying silent about sexual harassment endured by a Trump staffer. It should not be lost on anyone, the disdain Trump and his lackeys have for women in general. And it's insane to me that there are still women like Alina Habba who carry water for the patriarchy like this, who defend abusers, and who willingly throw other women under the bus in order to do so.
In the trenches too. I mean, she's on the front lines of this, not just supporting this misogynist, accused rapist, who a judge said, yeah, pretty much, okay, don't come after me like you did Stephanopoulos. It is ludicrous that this person wants to touch this white hot light to nowhere. It really is. That's you want to be so close to this Kardashian-esque light, okay? But there's no $1 million or $1 billion payoff at the end. And Judge Giannini probably promised her to be press secretary too.
Oh God.
Can you imagine?
No, she's basically,
I mean, that's television.
She's effectively his press secretary, and she doesn't even need that job.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.